My role is the global CTO of Life Sciences. So I focus on my life science customers and telling them a story on how to use Snowflake for their different use cases. In my view, because I've been in industry, it's a complex ecosystem because it's not just one big industry with one kind of data. If you come to R&D where we are doing clinical trials with patients, the governance level is pretty high. And there we have a lot of needs for anonymization, identification, restricted access, only access what people need to access, things like that. And we need to have strict controls on who is using it for what purpose. We need to move fast for our analysts to be able to get insights. But at the same time, that doesn't mean moving fast means we lose control and we don't know what's happening or what they did with the data. So that's where technology is a great enabler, and identifying the right technologies can actually bring that speed without actually losing the compliance rigor that is needed. There's a big emphasis on the word FAIR data, which stands for findable, accessible, interoperable, reusable. We want to make sure that everybody can find it. But when we come to the access part, okay, now I find the data I need to request access to it. What do I do? So it shouldn't be a manual process where then they contact somebody, they send an email, and then they wait forever for somebody to get them access to a folder or a bucket, wherever it's stored. So Immuta orchestrates that very well for us. So somebody finds it, they need the data to be available for an analytic need. They can request access, and Immuta would take care of the access propagation, respecting the attributes of the person who's requested access. For a user, it's a seamless experience, but behind the scenes, it is still done, as I articulated, in a technology-compliant manner. I think what was unique was the ability for me at that time to do attribute-based tagging and access controls. So it was then not for me to manually configure each person's access into a specific yes or no bucket, but I would let the role of that person will be used as an attribute. The function the person resided in, like researcher, clinical, or manufacturing, be the attribute that can be tagged to the data set in order for me to say yes or no to access. So that automation was a differentiator. But with AI comes the new concept of ethical AI, responsible AI, privacy-preserved AI, because it's possible that in life sciences, you have a lot of data points. We have patient characteristics which we anonymize. Like we won't know your name, but there could be characteristics like your age, body weight, zip code, if not exactly the address, and other characteristics like what was your first visit to a doctor, what was the outcome prognosis, etc., which is used for actually finding some useful insights across a population. But now if you combine that with, say, a genetic data, like that has a specific mutation, it's pretty much possible that even though you have anonymized it, you can actually link it back to a patient, because some of the mutations you have are very unique that you will know only a certain percentage of the population. In that zip code, it's potentially only one person who might have it. So there is what we call the risk of re-identification as you add more and more data points. So the conversation then was like, how do you prevent AI from making these linkages and preventing the re-identification from happening? And I think that's where with AI advent, where Immuta has to help, or not just preventing access, but it is also letting you access, but the trust is what we really want to enforce, and we deal with patient data. And we don't want to lose the trust. When volume grows, we need to make sure that we have solutions at scale that can preserve the anonymization, privacy, and the trust of patients. You have the additional layer like Immuta to make sure that's also redacted and extracted and protected. We don't want technology to be a bottleneck, but an enabler, an accelerator for people to come and work with tools to get insights. And anything that brings a seamless user experience, where they don't even see the technology, but it's doing the work behind the scenes, is a win-win for all of us.